Muy buen día. Muchas gracias por la invitación y obviamente por la disposición y el tiempo de estar aquí. Quiero presentar en primera instancia las excusas de nuestro decano, el doctor José Miguel de Toro. No se encuentra en este momento en la universidad. Y transmito obviamente, junto con el mensaje de su ausencia, el deseo de buen éxito respecto a la jornada. Y las felicitaciones también al profesor Froilán por la gestión y la organización de este evento. Aprovecho también de saludar a todos nuestros invitados que dan realce a la jornada, a este seminario, invitados regionales, nacionales y también internacionales que están conectados, entiendo, a través de la plataforma Zoom. Felicito también al profesor Froilán Ramos, al doctor Froilán Ramos, por su proyecto Fondesit 11-23-07-56 ANIT, porque ha permitido, digamos, también la gestión de este evento que nos reúne para reflexionar y conocer mucho más sobre la Alianza para el Progreso y las repercusiones que ha tenido en el último tiempo. Es además primordial esta jornada porque nos invita, como decía, a saber mucho más y a conocer las presentaciones de destacados académicos y académicas, y nos permite además ponernos en un momento importante. Se celebra en muy pocos días la conmemoración del asesinato de Kennedy. Conmemoración además relevante, como decía, porque da pie a numerosas investigaciones que pueden dar pie a procesos de reflexión para nuestros estudiantes, para académicos, y obviamente también para la carrera. Felicito además a la carrera de licenciatura en Historia, al departamento también de Historia y a las autoridades que están aquí presentes. Lamentablemente, pero también por otros compromisos me tengo que retirar en un breve momento. Voy a participar al inicio de las primeras mesas. Pero como ya decía, me parece muy relevante la gestión y la organización de este evento. Les deseo mucho éxito y espero que sea una jornada muy fructífera para la carrera y para quienes participan como expositores. Muchísimas gracias.
Agradecemos las palabras de nuestro vicedecano. Para dar inicio al seminario, contaremos con la conferencia de apertura a cargo del doctor Jeffrey Taffet, profesor de la Academia de Marina Mercante de los Estados Unidos, doctor en Historia por la Georgetown University, autor de numerosas publicaciones y libros relacionados a la Alianza por el Progreso. Así que, sin más dilación ni pérdida de tiempo, vamos a dejarlo ya con la conferencia inicial a cargo del doctor Taffet.
Good. Buenos días. Perfecto. I'm going to share my screen for a second, just to begin. I need to give two apologies to start. One is for not speaking in Spanish. My Spanish is okay, but it's not great for this kind of thing. I tried to learn Portuguese a couple of years ago, and it really messed with my Spanish. And I don't use my Spanish very much. So I'm sorry. And I'm also sorry for not being there. I had intended to be there this week, but I work for my institution is run by the United States government. So there's all kinds of funding problems with anybody who follows US politics might know about. So that keeps me here. That may had a problem for the trip, but hopefully I'll get down there very soon. So let me get started with this. And can people see? Can I just get my? I can't really see what's going on. Is my screen showing there? Is that correct? That my screen? You guys can see my screen? Am I good? Can I get Froilán, can you get a thumbs up if I'm okay?
Okay.
See? Perfect.
Sí, okay.
See, okay. So I'm going to talk about the Alliance for Progress, not through the lens of my initial book, but through the lens of, can you wait? I don't think, 1 second. I think it's not the correct share. I'm going to do without the slides. I think it's probably better to do that. So I can sort of see better. You see the word, not the PowerPoint. I got it. Okay, let me try that share screen again.
If you want, we can share your presentation PPT. We can.
Okay, that's fine. I'll just speak this. The presentation, I think it's going to be, it's probably better if I just speak and we can see the faces. So I'm going to be speaking about the Alliance for Progress, not through the lens of my initial book, Foreign Aid as Foreign Policy, but more through the way that I came to think about the Alliance for Progress through a book that I did with a colleague, Dustin Walcher, that I published that explored the whole history of U.S. Latin American foreign relations from independence to the present day. Oh, perfect. Okay. So, and I think that makes sense. So let me, and I think I'm going to try to speak a little bit about the Alliance for Progress broadly, which hopefully makes sense. Perfect. Hopefully makes sense as a initial presentation. So good. So we can go to the next slide here. Thank you. Perfect. Just stay there. Thank you. So on March 13th, 1961, President Kennedy stood in the White House and introduced the Alliance for Progress to an audience of Latin American diplomats. In the speech, he presented 10 different action points. The first was the establishment of a 10-year cooperative effort between the United States and Latin American countries focused on improving living standards, advancing basic education, and eradicating hunger. Kennedy said the effort, if successful, would eliminate the need for foreign assistance. This was essentially the Alliance for Progress. Kennedy argued his goal was for Latin American states to enter a period of self-sustaining growth so that each state would be the master of its own revolution and its own hope and progress. In the other parts of the speech, Kennedy offered a few specifics for promoting Latin American development and advancing U.S. Latin American cooperation. He called on the United States Congress to appropriate $500 million for Latin American development. This was the Social Progress Trust Fund, and reaffirmed U.S. support for the Organization of American States. But the subtext of the speech centered around much of the idea that this was going to be a start of a new moment in inter-American relations. The United States was going to be changing course decisively to back Latin American development. Kennedy had initially spoken about common notions of democracy and development in both Latin America and the United States, referencing Bolivar and Juarez and connecting them to Thomas Paine and the United States' revolutionary dream of national independence and individual freedom. He said their work, Bolivar and Juarez and Paine, was not finished, and it was our unfulfilled task to demonstrate to the entire world that man's unsatisfied aspiration for economic progress and social justice can best be achieved by free men working within a framework of democratic institutions. But then he said, in a line I want to focus on today, that the United States has not always grasped the significance of this common mission, that we must turn from these mistakes, from the failures of misunderstandings of the past, to a future bright